3 episodes of one story is much trickier than I could have ever imagined. Oh my goodness! Because I'm quite inexperienced, Luke. You know, I'm still quite new as a writer, and this is a huge gig for me.
Yeah.
And so I can only guess in my head, you know what it will be like, what it will feel like. But it was much more complex.
We've got a mother and son with a website wanting to talk to you.
First nutters of the day.
They're on a video link from Australia.
He's seen this website. He's too scared to show it to me. It was on the darknet. He's not going to get into trouble for looking at it, is he?
It's not illegal to access the darknet. So what did you see, Morris?
I was messing a couple of weeks ago. I ended up at this page with a password, so I thought I'd see if I could hack into it. It had this map of back home on it. And all these sick pictures and videos. Dead bodies and stuff.
We're going to need the password.
I didn't know he was doing any of it. One of his mates WhatsApped him this morning because of a murder that happened near his old school.
I saw him on the website.
Michael Edgerton?
Yeah, his murder was posted a couple of hours ago. I watched him bleed to death.
What was the website called?
Taking out the trash. Charming.
We'll have to ring Special Branch to even use the password. Some 14-year-old on the other side of the world can access it, but we have to ask if we're allowed.
No, we don't. I've got permissions already. I did the course on my secondment. Got the software in here.
You couldn't wire a plug 12 months ago.
When we said, let's go for one story across 3 episodes, I was like, brilliant, perfect. And then suddenly, you have to carry everything forward, and it was quite daunting, actually. It was very exciting at the beginning, and then hugely scary halfway through whilst I was writing it.
So, the perpetrator draws a chalk star at the murder scene. This one, you would mistake for graffiti. That's if you even noticed it at all. These chalk stars appear at all of our crime scenes. It's just that we hadn't spotted them previously. They also appear at all of our victims' home addresses. This one being Michael Edgerton's. There's a discussion page on the website which is encrypted. I've got people over at SCAS going through it, trying to get us some more information.
How many people are on the discussion page?
We're not sure.
Is there any connection in our victims' profiles?
None that we found. Michael Edgerton, no previous offences. Richard Hazelmere was a drug addict, but nothing else stands out about his life. There's a Mark Winston, who was murdered at a neo-Nazi rally 3 years ago.
Danielle Hallows, who was a member of a small-time girl gang, but nothing big. And the list goes on.
It's a wide spread of age, race, sex, occupation.
How many murders are we talking?
10 so far that we've ID'd, maybe 11. I know, it's huge. There are 2 home addresses on the website that have no murders associated with them. And we have a star at an unidentified stretch of canal that we're treating as a potential crime scene.
Well, that could mean there's an undiscovered body in that water. That'd only explain one of the addresses.
Which means that the other address could be a potential victim. Someone still alive, who's been targeted. Someone that we can save.
We're so inundated with crime drama at the moment. I mean, we've gotten them from all over the world. So how did you approach writing a crime story that is, you know, people aren't going to go, well, that's what they did on The Killing, or that's what they did on The Bridge, or I saw a Silent Witness episode like that, or New Tricks did something, or, you know, you could find parallels with everything, couldn't you, if you looked hard enough, I suppose.
Yeah, there were some elements when we got close to filming where someone, as the production team came on and designers joined us, you know, and someone said, oh, that little bit was in a show I just watched the other day. And you were like,
were they quickly fired?
Yeah, I was like, we used a Men in Black little tool to erase anyone's memory and thoughts of that thing. What can you do? You know, we're all subject to the same news and information and culture, so we all generate some ideas. But I think my approach to this was, and my approach to anything that I do is, what affects me. And you know, I think this story is about technology, and it's about, you know, us feeling daunted by the way in which the world moves faster than we can keep up with it, and that's, you know, present in my everyday, from everything when I'm trying to sort out my email to you know, any paranoia about phones being hacked, you know, and so I wanted just to find something that would probably tap into something that people feel in their daily lives. I think that's where I was starting off.
With any whodunit or with any Scott and Bailey story, do you do that old thing that some people say they start at the end and work back, or how do you approach it?
For me, I tie the worst knot possible for myself, and then, I mean, before I actually start writing the script, I know what the ending is, of course, but when I start tying the knot, I don't know the end in terms of when I'm structuring the story. I try and find what I would find the most scary and the most confusing. This story was inspired a little bit by hearing about some characters called the smiley-faced killers in America. It was a little bit inspired by that, about a theory about a gang of people leaving marks at places that no one would notice to signify that they'd committed a murder, that no one will connect. I think that was my sort of starting point for that. I thought it was really interesting.
So you've got these really dark elements of it, but also, I presume for fans and to lighten the show up a bit, you've got Janet and Rachel's stories. They've got their own things going on, as they always do outside. So you've got Rachel.
Sally Lindsay, come on, how great is she?
And Sally Lindsay popping up, who I always kind of forget about until she's back on screen, and I go, of course. But she's brilliant as well, yeah, absolutely.
Those magic fruits or whatever in a computer game that power you up. You know, you're like, this is getting dark, this is getting really deep and murky, and then, you shouldn't get...
And she pops up doing the ironing.
Yeah. You're like, come on.
Can you talk a little bit about the difficulties of Leslie's story with her daughter this time round, remembering that most people will have seen episode 1, so we sort of know that her daughter is in hot water in a very peculiar situation in a way.
I don't want to panic you, love, but Daisy's been arrested.
Indecent images of Taisy's boyfriend,
Sam,
have been found on a phone, and a few of them have made their way onto social media.
what sort of images? No, don't. Okay, tell me.
Explicit pictures of him naked and of his genitals. Of him aroused.
Stop. That's awful. They're going out together. This is what kids do, don't they?
He's only 15.
She's only 16. They're in the same year at school.
Because Taser is 16, the police have to be seen to be complying to government guidelines. So the case has been forwarded to safeguarding, and once they've taken a look at it, it won't, but it could be sent to the Serious Sexual Offences Unit.
This is mad.
For possession and distribution of indecent images of a child under 18. Common sense is going to kick in. Safeguarding is going to take one look at this case and throw it out.
It's a situation which I didn't, invent. There are stories, plenty of stories out there of similar cases. Yeah, in fact, it was in the news this week, wasn't it? You were saying, what percentage of teenagers under the age of 16 have been sexting and sending pictures of themselves out there. And I think it's a new obstacle for everyone to approach. I think it would seem in the story that common sense should prevail and that this is something easy to sort out and why are the police getting involved. But police have a very difficult job of deciding which cases to prosecute. And I think particularly when other police officers are involved and their families, they're under huge pressure as to whether to be seen to be doing the right thing or whether to dismiss a case, if that makes sense. The stories are intentionally sort of linked because they're about technology. We've got this extraordinary big crime case, and that can seem like, and that makes the world look it's very big for Scott and Bailey, that crime case. So I also wanted just to find a way of bringing that same idea into people's personal lives. And throughout all 3 episodes, you'll find things like phones and computers creating all sorts of, parallel problems for our characters and solutions. Particularly my generation, because I'm, mid-40s. That I'm just holding on to the tail of the tiger. I'm just about keeping up with it. But
You've just opened a MySpace account, I think.
No, I've just bought shares in Bebo.
Okay, I'd like to see them skyrocket any minute. I'm sure they will.
Just you watch. It's the place to watch. Don't you worry. What was the other one called? Friends Reunited.
God.
Yeah.
Friends Reunited. Yeah, you may have missed the boat with that. I think everybody's.
Have you heard about Friends Reunited, Luke? It's brilliant. It's amazing.
Oh yeah, I've been reunited with loads of people I didn't want to talk to in the first place. As far as when it goes from page to filming, how involved are you do you like to get at that stage?
Because it's not my show, because it's not my voice, and we had Saran execing on it this year as well. We've got an amazing team. We've got Saskia, who I have to say, script editors never get a shout out, but she has been part of capturing the voice of this. Saskia Abbott, she's been absolutely amazing. Of course, Nicola, who produces the best television in the land, and you have all those people operating it. So when I worked on Shameless, I was very much involved in production. But on this one, I took a slight step back during production. I did go down to set a few times. There were so many old hands with more experience of this show in control of this show that I was very happy to step back on this.
As soon as the show's over, people will be on social media, be it Facebook, Twitter, saying Scott and Bailey was really good, or I didn't enjoy Scott and Bailey. I mean, that must be... It's different now, isn't it, as a writer, because people can give their opinion straight away, and they might even give it at the first ad break, with it being ITV. Is that daunting?
Well, I don't know, Luke. I wasn't even thinking about it till you just mentioned it.
Well, have a ponder.
Luke, I'm going to try that question back. What will you be saying at the first ad break?
Well, I saw it without ads, so I can't comment. I have to say, I just was so pleased to have it back, and it didn't feel like it had been away at all. There was that distance there between the characters, but it just felt like, yes, this is back.
Right.
And I was just interested in how the three episodes were joined together.
Yeah.
And also so interested in their separate lives that were going on in parallel. So I think you've done a fantastic job, I have to say.
Cheers, Luke. Well, I mean, to answer your question, I'm not a big fan of social media. As you'll see from the writing in the script, it's like my personal war against technology, really. I know what I kind of feel about it and things that I think worked and didn't work. And I've got, peers around me who are very honest and great, and, the opportunity to work with this team was amazing, and I've learnt so much. Red have been amazing with me and given me so many opportunities. They helped me write... invited me to write Banana last year, which I loved, and got to work with Russell, which was amazing. So
what an amazing opportunity that is.
Yeah, amazing, Luke. So I have those people around me who will more than happily tell me, "Oh, you dropped the ball there. Maybe not do that next time, but that little speech, that little line, that was nice." I think those people will tell me, because I think my head would explode if I tried to cope with what someone in Angola thought about Jill's dress.
That's the point. I'm going to search that when it comes up. Angola and dresses. Never thought to do it. It'll make my search history look a bit weird, but I'll just...
Well, you know what? My constant fear is, writing the shows, you can imagine my search history looks incredibly weird.
Yeah. I wouldn't go to Curry's anytime soon.
No, exactly. I started speaking to a police advisor a few weeks ago, going, "Do you really all look at search histories? Because if you look at my... I should be locked up by now, the things I've had to search to research this show."
Do you think there's scope for more after this?
We wrote this as an ending. We really wrote this as an ending. I think the characters have tons of scope to come back and do more. But I think, in a way, I think they need to be in Sally's hands now. I think I'd love to see Sally come back and take them further, and maybe in a few years to find out where they're at.
Well, we got Endeavour, and we're getting Tennyson, about the young Jane Tennyson. Perhaps we could have the young Rachel Bailey.
Well, you know what? I would like to pitch right now Old Bailey set in the future.
Oh yes,
you like that? Old Bailey. She's
Patricia Routledge from Keeping Up Appearances.
Perfect. You see, just start writing now. Actually, I quite like.
Or Stephanie Cole from Waiting for God,
or even Tracy Bennett playing her daughter. Which is
nice.
Nice. I think you could do something with that.
The Old Bailey. No, I like that.
Yeah. Or Damn It, Janet. Janet Goes Rogue.
Oh, yeah.
Got a Breaking Bad version with Janet going rogue. She's so fed up with the police treating her daughter that she's going to take revenge. I think that could work.
You've got me really excited now.
HBO, I think. Yeah.
What is next for you personally? Do you have anything else lined up?
So I'm currently working on my own stuff at the moment. Scott and Bailey took up all of last year. I put time aside to write my own stuff at the moment, so I'm developing something with Red for ITV. But I'm quite enjoying just having the freedom to create my own characters, really.
what do you tend to sit down and watch? Because when you're doing Scott and Bailey all year and your search history is that dark, do
Yes.
you look for other drama? Do you look for documentary?